You know, the recycling ruse, I know we all want to believe it. And, you know, the cans and the bottles and some of these things actually work. And I've been collecting cans since I was a kid. But when we stopped dumping our trash in China, they stopped paying for it. But what a lot of people don't understand is something very simple. If you take the amount of pollution that comes from one day of shipping these giant ships around the world, one day shipping is the equivalent of the exhaust of all the cars in the United States for a year. We're dumb. And the issue here is that that becomes cost of goods. You think sending our trash to another country is cheap? It was a ruse to begin with. And now they got us sorting trash and wasting time and doing a bunch of dumb stuff that we really don't need to be doing. And so if we can move forward on streamlining some of that stuff, I think it's important because it adds to all the cost of the goods that we're paying under the idea that we're saving a few pennies here or there when most of it goes in the landfill. We pulled out of Cal Cities. We pulled out of the econ development. I estimate that's around $70K a year. I think there's an opportunity here to do some direct lobbying with the great representation from the mayor and the trip that they just had. There's a lot of conversations around this direct lobbying. The grant money is welfare, okay? And it comes with a lot of strings attached. It's like the recycling. You know, if you want to build a playground in the park, you can't build a playground in the park at where we're going to build that playground because you can't get grant money for that park because it depends on where it is. If I want to go build a playground on the east side, there's grant money for that. There is grant money to build the new community center because of where it was. That's changed now. There's no grant money available in that part of town now anymore. That zip code's changed. So there's a lot of back and forth about how we're spending money in our city, but we put in playgrounds all the time, and some of it comes from the welfare grant money, and some of it comes from the general fund, and the one that we're building in the park over there would have never got built if we didn't build it with the money we came out of this pile, of this budget. So there's a lot of misinformation about grants and how grants are used, but it drives the price of everything up. So if we're paying tons for recycling, so we can feel good about recycling, and then we're paying for it in our bill, it's hidden in there. And so we need to be thinking about the whole system on this and stop being so narrowly focused on things that don't matter in the whole ecosystem of how this really works. And I want to make this statement too. About the same time we started having these budget problems, we lost a great opportunity to put a super Walmart in our city. It's still vacant. People still talk about it all the time. If we would have gotten Super Walmart in here, and it wasn't the radical progressives that put a stop to that, we would have had an anchor tenant in our city that would have brought more business, and our city would have started growing about 15 years ago. But because we ran them out of town, and because we have so many radicals and so many people that are legalistic that want to try to stop progress in the name of progress, which doesn't make any sense, the city has suffered because of that. We're trying to change the course of the city. We're trying to do the math. We're trying to look at the systems. And if we can get some good anchor tenants and start to get the ball rolling, you'll start to see a lot of changes in our city, good changes, where we don't have to raise our rates so much, and we're going to get a little bit more income from the revenue of the people that have to drive to Tulare or Visalia to go and get goods. There's all kinds of people that will come and shop in Porterville if we have a good anchor tenant and put in some of the shopping that they go 30 miles. And then it's unsafe, and we got traffic, people going out on Spruce Road, and it's costing money to drive there. We have to really focus on local in that way. So I want to understand we're talking about local, not local. That's the main focus of the local when we're talking about local. We want to try to keep the revenue here. And I just wanted to make that statement on the record because it's been bothering me, and I think everybody in the city needs to understand that from a basic economic standpoint. Councilman Beltran's right. If there's people that want to understand how this budget works, we're going to start unveiling that in a meeting coming up. Come and check it out. Come and look at how it works and see how 2 + 2 = 4. And figure out what budget is what and how those things work, because there's a lot of misinformation on the internet. in the newspaper, and our newspaper has refused to report objectively on it. And there's a lot of people that are just trying to slam dunk on money that's spent. The amount of money that we're going to spend on a party or a parade, that's part of the public weal. And to say that we're not going to do stuff for the public weal because we want to score political points and talk about money in that way, that's nonsense. And the people know it, and the people see it, and they're getting tired of it. And I just want to get on the record and say, we got work to do, and let's go get that work done, and let's take care of everybody that works for this city, and let's try to take care of the people that don't work for the city, because 3/4 of the people in this state do not have a pension. 3/4 of the people in this state don't have a high-paying, guaranteed job. That's most of the people. And we continue to cater towards some people that, you know, have those things, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but we got to have balance. And we got to make sure we're doing the right thing for everybody. And I wanted to make those statements, Mayor. Sorry to drone on. I know it's earlier than usual, but I had to get on the record with that stuff, and appreciate the time.
Well, unfortunately, my kids are already in bed, Vice Mayor, so we can just do it all night if you want.